Oh, I just gave myself a little bit of a panic attack. Not legit, but I turned my mic, like the little head mic, off. So when I got in the car, it was off, and I was like, "Holy shit! Did I get no sound for that whole video?" Whoops. Well, I guess that wouldn't really affect me. It'd only affect you. Lack of audio isn't gonna hinder my pump. So whatever. But oh my goodness, I just looked at the clock. Yeesh. So I think plan now is just go home, eat a relatively large meal, the likes of which should consist of maybe 150, 200 grams of carbs or so, 50 grams of protein, and then however many grams of fat. And that can kind of be whatever. Maybe I'll do cereal, maybe I'll do some kind of, I don't know. I don't really know what kind of food is at the house, so I'm going to have to improvise. But tomorrow is going to be chest. Of course, it's after morning cardio, so I'll wake up. I don't know when I'll wake up, probably a nasty hour, but get my butt out of bed, throw some pants on, and go to the Y and do my 30 minutes. So post daily cardio, which let me just run through the whole cardio routine. So ideally, this is my little get up and go technique. So before I even go to bed, I'll set a little caffeine capsule, a little hostile pure caffeine capsule on my nightstand, plus at least a liter of water with some electrolytes or some, why the heck am I forgetting the name of it? Well, with some aminos and some other electrolyte mix. So as soon as I wake up, slam that, and then the caffeine capsule, and then by the time I actually get in the car, have all my clothes on, drive to the gym, should be relatively awake. Now, 200 milligrams of caffeine, is that absolutely necessary to get cardio done? No, that's just kind of a little premise of waking up. That's just how I like it. Now, fasted, unfasted, I don't think it matters too much, man. I mean, I definitely want to do cardio in the morning and then have pretty much the day to recover from it. Not that it's that intense, but I don't want to be tired from the cardio before I do my actual lift. Like if I did my 30 minutes of cardio before I started lifting weights, like right before, I mean, I will have burned off some glycogen, and then not even getting so scientific about it, I'll just be fucking tired out. And then when I do my actual chest workout, I'm hindered energy-wise. It's not going to be as good of a lift. My sets probably won't be as intense. And then I can almost guarantee I'm not going to be so pumped. So I want to do my cardio as far away from the lift as possible, and then not hinder my sleep. So I'm not really gonna, it's never really made sense to me to want to do cardio before bed at nighttime, like morning lift and then night cardio. I can't really get behind it. More of a morning cardio, night lift type of lifter. But fasted, unfasted, you're still going to burn the same amount of energy. It's it doesn't matter if your gas tank in your car is at full or at half. If you drive 20 miles, you're still going to burn 1 gallon. So if you want to have a breakfast beforehand, if you're bulking, that's probably going to be ideal, right? You want to start eating food as soon as possible to get your daily calories up right when you wake up, so you don't have to eat so much later on. And then if you're dieting, maybe skip breakfast, jump straight to the cardio, and then wait to eat until a little bit later in the morning, so that when you are actually kind of eating, you can eat a little bit more. That's sort of my approach to it. So when I'm dieting down, pretty much I end up just skipping breakfast, and I'll have something around usually noon or so. Not because I think there's a crazy special benefit to intermittent fasting or anything like that, but if I eat from a window of let's say noon to whenever I go to bed, maybe 11 or so, then the meals that I do eat, they can be a little bit bigger than if I were to eat from whenever I wake up to when I go to sleep. So usually for me in the morning, it's not super hard for me to wait a little bit longer to start eating. If you get through, let's say your calorie limit for a diet, dieting down, is at 2,500. Let's say that's your max. You don't want to go over that. If it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon and you've already eaten 2,000 calories, it's going to be tricky for you to limit yourself to 500 before you go to bed. I'm not saying it's impossible, but you're much more likely to, maybe have a little 500 calorie dinner. Maybe you make it that far, and then, you're getting ready to go to bed, you're still fucking hungry. You have a diet soda or something, it's not enough to hold you over, and you're like, I'm fucking hungry. Start scarfing down food. Come on. Not ideal. And I'm not ripping on you for that, because I've done that before too. If I run through my calories early in the day, that's when I'm most likely and when I would end up kind of going overboard at night. So, you got to take advantage of the fact that you can have foresight as a human with a working brain and think, okay, maybe I shouldn't have a 1,500 calorie breakfast. Maybe I should tone it down a little bit so that I don't go over my calorie limit. So that's sort of my thoughts there. But I guess that only really pertains, the cardio part, to you if you're doing your cardio. Which, I'm not a New Year's resolutioner, but I'm definitely not going to rip on you for making cardio your New Year's resolution. At least if you try to stick to it. So, I'm not gonna turn that into a cardio rant. Let's just get back. So even with just 4 sets of leg extensions, nothing insane, that was still a pretty good quad pump. I think probably the next quad day will be a bit more intense too. Yeah. The only thing that I'm going to change in my training / recovery process over, I don't know, some period of time, maybe tomorrow I'll go get one, is I want a massage gun. I want like a Theragun, and I'm just going to run that all over me. Maybe it'll do me some good, loosen up some internal muscular fibers and fascia or whatever, and do me some good. Because, it would make sense. Not that this is exactly how this shit works, but just in a kind of a bro science-y way of looking at it. If you've got all these fibers in your muscles and some of them are kind of tangled up together, right? Something that looks like this, that's not going to want to get pumped up full of blood. So if you're nice and loose and rolled out and Theragunned or whatever, and you're like this, right? Once you start lifting, oh, that shit wants to pump up. So what if that's just mumbo jumbo, whatever? Either way, it'll probably feel pretty good to just run one of those on my quads in the morning, or my hamstrings or whatever. Probably upper shoulders too. I think I got to start implementing a stretching routine, and not only just for general mobility, which would be a good thing, but in terms of my front delts especially, I need to loosen up in here so that I can kind of pull my shoulders back a bit further when I do my pressing movements, so I can get less front delt activation. Because just the rounded overness of my posture, it lets my front delts take over a lot in my pressing movements, for chest that is. So I'm trying to hit front delts, man. I'm trying to work my freaking upper, mid, and just a touch of lower pecs. So whatever I can do to get my front delts out of the equation, I definitely want to work towards. But that's pretty much all I got there. So, home, food, ideally a meal big enough to distend my stomach and let me have a very nice night's sleep, and wake up and just do it all over again. Tomorrow's I guess technically today, depends on when you're watching this, but it's my first day of a winter online class between semesters. So I got to learn about heat transfer. I don't think it'll be that bad. I just need to get reacquainted with my calculator. But that's all I got, man. I'll see you next time.